Each December, Trevor and Jess hang festive decorations, while their little girl Maddie places the star on the tree. But as Maddie gets older, she stops enjoying this yearly ritual. A year following their divorce, Trevor lives alone in Hartford. His place is modest, even requiring a coin to activate the electricity, yet he maintains his holiday habits. He snacks on Advent candy and trims the tree using a candy wrapper. When Jess rings, Trevor has to step into the cold to get a clear signal. He says he's excited for his family to visit and see his place, but Jess interrupts with huge news. Her new partner owns a villa in Barbados, so she and Maddie will spend the holidays there. Her boyfriend has also offered to cover Maddie's tuition, but Trevor insists he can pay for it himself. He hides the fact that he is actually drowning in debt. Upset, Trevor switches off the lights on the tree. At the local school, Trevor assists with organizing the Christmas celebrations. The principal summons him to her office for a final toast, noting it is his last day on the job. When she asks if he has another job lined up, he says no. Soon, the doorbell rings, and Trevor rushes to open it, discovering a baby in a basket. He shows the infant to a teacher, who explains a mother lent her child for the nativity play. Trevor lays the baby in the manger, allowing the event to begin. During the performance, Trevor manages the music and sound effects. He keeps checking his phone and sees Maddie's college costs will be massive. Just then, a house-sitting agency he used to work for calls with a job offer. While pulling a rope to raise the stage star, Trevor tries to explain he's retired. But when the recruiter mentions the salary, Trevor is shocked by the amount and drops the rope. The star crashes onto the stage, terrifying the kids. Trevor is now keen on the job, but must be in London by 5 p.m. for an interview. After the show, Trevor kills the lights and exits the school, but returns when he hears crying. The baby is still on stage, so Trevor scoops him up and goes to the principal's office. He tries to find the parent's number in the directory, but nobody answers. Desperate to catch his train to London, Trevor waits for a return call that doesn't come. He decides to drive to the parents' house directly. To his shock, the mother is holding her own baby. She was too sick to attend the play. This means the basket baby was abandoned at the school. Trevor calls the principal for help, but she has already left town and tells him to handle it. He calls the police, who can't send anyone for 3 to 4 hours. Since Trevor has to leave, they advise him to try social services. He calls social services immediately and finally gets an agent who agrees to collect the baby. While packing his bag, Trevor turns around to find the baby missing. He runs to find him, catching him just as he's about to crawl down the stairs. Moments later, the social services agent arrives. But when Trevor goes to hand over the baby, he finds the basket empty again. Trevor frantically searches the house, calling out, "Baby Jesus," making the agent think he's unstable. The agent leaves his card and tells Trevor to call if he actually finds a child, then departs. Eventually, Trevor finds the baby under the table and runs to give him to the agent. However, the agent has already driven off. Trevor tries calling him, but the agent won't pick up. He decides to drive to the social services office, only to discover it is closed. Next, he tries the police station, but the reception is poor and his phone battery dies. With no other choice, Trevor is forced to take the baby along to London. After a train ride, they arrive at a luxury building. Trevor shields the baby from the security camera while buzzing the intercom. In the lobby, he hides the baby in his backpack until Petra arrives. Trevor awkwardly enters the elevator, ensuring the child's face is hidden. Petra shows him the fob required to access the apartment and penthouse. In the elevator, the baby coos, forcing Trevor to pretend the noises came from him. They reach the stunning penthouse Trevor will be house-sitting. The baby fusses, so Trevor shakes his body to rock him, causing the baby to fart. Trevor pretends he did it again, and Petra tells him to put the bag down, so he backs away and leaves it near the door. Petra gives him a tour of the enormous place. The baby uses the chance to knock the bag down and crawl out. When they return, Trevor spots a baby bottle rolling on the floor. Petra lists the rules, saying no guests are allowed, while the baby crawls behind her back. Thankfully, he's gone by the time she turns around. As Petra shows more rooms, Trevor hides the bottle in a vase, pretending to admire the art. Finding the baby, Trevor hides him in a trash can before Petra sees him. Trevor asks when he starts, and Petra says the job started 15 minutes ago. She leaves her card and the fob, warning him not to lose it as there are no copies. The entire staff is on vacation, so no one else should be around. After Petra leaves, Trevor charges his phone and finds a strange remote control. Pressing buttons makes the balcony statue move. The baby makes noise, reminding Trevor to pull him out of the bag. But when his phone rings, Trevor puts the baby back and hands him a kitchen timer to play with. Trevor answers a police officer who says he's ready to pick up the baby. However, since Trevor is in London, he has to contact the London police. The officer agrees to transfer the details to his colleagues. Trevor checks the baby and realizes he needs a diaper change. He searches the apartment and uses an expensive shawl as a makeshift diaper. The baby gets a bath, held together by office clips. Trevor bags the dirty diaper and leaves it on the balcony. He fetches the bottle from the vase to feed the child, but the milk runs out quickly. He takes the baby to the store for milk and food, but needs the baby's weight for the right jar. Trevor weighs the baby on the produce scale. Realizing he can't carry everything, he takes the shopping cart. Leaving the store, Trevor gets a call from Georgia at London Social Services. The police updated her, so she'll pick up the baby tomorrow afternoon. After dinner, the baby poops again, forcing Trevor to use more shawls. At bedtime, Trevor puts the baby inside a basket. In the middle of the night, the baby's crying wakes Trevor. He tries singing and jumping on the bed to soothe him, but nothing works. Finally, the baby burps and settles down. Trevor puts him back, but the baby starts crying again. Looking for a solution, Trevor finds a champagne bottle and gives the cork to the baby to suck. The baby falls asleep instantly. Next morning, Trevor wakes when the baby spits out the cork and cries. It's time for a change, but only one shawl remains. Trevor orders diapers online and tosses the dirty shawls onto the balcony. He tries to eat breakfast, but is interrupted by the timer. He finds the baby crawling toward the stairs and runs to stop him. When a delivery arrives, Trevor leaves the baby and rushes to the intercom. He doesn't know which button to press, so the driver leaves. Trevor chases him down the street and stops him just in time to get the package. Back at the elevator, he realizes he left the fob in the penthouse. As the baby starts climbing the stairs, Trevor remembers the cleaner also has a fob. He looks for the cleaner's number at reception, but realizes his phone is also upstairs. Just then, a tenant named Lionel enters, and Trevor borrows his phone to call cleaner Elsa. Elsa can bring the fob, but needs permission from Petra first. She promises to call back. While waiting, Trevor follows Lionel to his apartment and joins the family for lunch. Georgia arrives, but no one answers the door. She leaves a message on Trevor's phone, saying she'll call the police if he doesn't respond. Lionel's family gets a video call from his daughter, interrupted by Elsa calling. Trevor grabs the phone. Elsa is arriving in 30 minutes with the fob. As the baby reaches the top of the stairs, Trevor meets Elsa in the lobby. She activates the elevator and leaves. Trevor prepares to go up, but realizes he left the diapers in reception. He wedges his shoe in the elevator doors to keep them open while he grabs his bag. but the doors keep pushing the shoe away until they close completely. Upstairs, the baby explores and finds the laundry chute. Outside, Trevor runs down the street and finds Elsa at a cafe. Meanwhile, a tenant with a dog enters the elevator, and the dog steals the shoe. Elsa resets the elevator, and Trevor returns to the penthouse, but can't find the baby. Following laughter, he enters the laundry room and catches the baby just as he falls out of the chute. That night, Trevor calls Georgia to explain the mix-up. Then Maddie calls. She's in London because her flight was cancelled. She admits she doesn't want to go to Barbados and wants to stay with her dad. Airport announcements interrupt the call, and she hangs up. In the middle of the night, Trevor hears the elevator and finds a couple with a baby stealing food. They beg him not to call the cops, explaining they found a fob in the basement where they live. Kicked out of their home and in debt, they have no money for food. Trevor feels sorry for them and gives them baby food before they leave. Next morning, Trevor wakes up when the baby spits out the cork. Georgia calls to confirm she'll come by at midday. With time to spare, Trevor takes the baby for a walk. He puts a plastic bag on his bare foot and uses the cart as a stroller. Mothers in the park think the baby is cute and ask his name. Trevor says his name is Jesus. Suddenly, Trevor's shoe falls off in the park. He picks it up, but a dog runs over and steals it. Trevor throws a stick to distract the dog and puts his shoe back on. The dog returns and starts nibbling his foot. Trevor throws his other shoe, and the dog runs away with it before Trevor realizes his mistake. Later, the couple visits Trevor, bringing a baby hat as a thank you. They are heading to housing services to get a home before Christmas. Trevor offers to watch their baby while they deal with the paperwork. Later, Trevor feeds both babies and puts them to sleep in baskets. When Georgia arrives, Trevor rushes to the lobby with a basket. He signs the papers while she takes a photo for her records. Trevor asks for updates, but Georgia says it's confidential since it's not his child. After Georgia leaves, the couple returns. Trevor brings them to the apartment, and they are horrified to see it's not their baby. Trevor realizes he gave Georgia the wrong one. He runs to the street and finds Georgia arguing with police over a ticket. While she's distracted, he snatches the baby from the car and rushes back. In the elevator, he accidentally drops the fob down the shaft, but luckily has the spare from the couple. Inside, he swaps the babies and runs back outside. Georgia is gone, so he leaves her a message. Then Petra calls with a change of plans. The owners are coming for Christmas after all. Trevor must stay until the housekeeper arrives, but Petra promises he'll still be paid. Soon, housekeeper Janet calls from Scotland. She be late arriving in London. She asks Trevor to shop with the credit card in the kitchen and sends a long list to the printer. He buys so much food that he needs 4 carts. Meanwhile, Georgia realizes the baby is missing from her car and calls the police. Back at the apartment, Trevor takes supplies to the basement couple to apologize for the mix-up. In the lobby, a dog walker picks up the tenant's pet, dropping the shoe in reception. Trevor sees the shoe leaving the basement and takes it back, so the dog follows him into the elevator. Hearing the baby cry, Trevor grabs the basket and goes to the lobby to return the dog. The walker is gone, so Trevor leaves a note in the elevator about the dog. He returns to the penthouse with the baby and the pet. The dog immediately steals a sausage from the groceries. Trevor tries to distract him with his shoe keychain, but the dog swallows it along with the fob. Panicked, Trevor tests the elevator. The fob works from inside the dog. Janet calls. Due to weather, she arrives in the middle of the night. She directs him to the decorations and asks him to set up the tree that is being delivered. While Trevor is distracted, the dog eats the rest of the sausage. The phone rings. It's Annabelle, the dog's owner. Needing the fob, Trevor lies and says he isn't home, promising to call later. He goes shopping for more sausage with the baby and dog. On the way back, he sees Lionel moving out after being evicted. Inside, the tree has arrived. Not sure where to put it, Trevor takes the base from the moving statue. He lifts the tree using the moving lights and hides the statue in the office. He decorates the tree with help from the moving base. The dog needs to go out, so Trevor takes him to the street. He bags the poop and pokes it to confirm the fob is inside. Returning, they find Annabelle in the elevator. He gives her the dog and awkwardly operates the elevator with the dirty bag. Next morning, Janet calls. Transport is cancelled, so she isn't leaving Scotland. Trevor has to cook the feast himself using the instructions she printed. Trevor spends hours cooking while the baby watches from a pot. He prepares many dishes, sets the table, and sets up the nativity scene. At 5 o'clock, Trevor hides the baby upstairs and waits for the owners, but no one comes. He calls Petra, pretending to be with Janet, and asks for an update. Petra admits she forgot to say the owners aren't coming because they went to New York. Suddenly, a police officer rings the bell about the baby. Trevor brings the baby down, and the cop sees it's not the same child as in George's photo. After hearing the story, the confused officer calls Georgia. While they wait, he invites the cop inside. The cop is weirded out seeing Trevor use the poop bag to operate the elevator and then store it in a drawer. The couple returns with a gift for the baby and is invited in. Lionel rings the bell to drop off his keys and is also invited to join the meal. The elevator opens, the dog runs out, and Annabelle chases him in, joining the group. Jess calls, revealing she and Maddie never left because flights were cancelled. They want to spend Christmas with him, so he invites them over. When Georgia arrives for the baby, she joins the celebration too. The group enjoys singing, drinking, and eating the delicious food. Trevor gives his remaining shoe to the dog so he can keep the pair. The police officer toasts Trevor and the baby, but when they look around, the child is gone. They frantically search and find him in the manger. Suddenly, the doorbell rings. Trevor checks the camera. The penthouse owners have arrived in London after all. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.